Have you ever noticed your dog suddenly perk up? Their ears twitching, seemingly reacting to nothing at all? Or maybe they start barking at a sound you can't hear, leaving you completely baffled. It's not your imagination, and your dog isn't seeing ghosts. They're simply tuning into a world of sound that is completely beyond our human perception. This is the fascinating world of canine hearing, a superpower that allows them to hear frequencies we can only dream of. Today, we're re-diving deep into the science behind why your furry friend's auditory world is so much richer and more expansive than our own. To understand why dogs hear differently, we first need to understand a little bit about sound itself. Sound travels in waves, and the frequency of these waves, measured in hertz, determines the pitch we hear. A low frequency means a low pitch, like the deep rumble of thunder, while a high frequency creates a high pitch, like a whistle. Humans have a pretty decent hearing range, typically from about 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz, or 20 kilohertz. This covers everything from the lowest note on a piano to the high-pitched buzz of a mosquito. But when it comes to the animal kingdom, our hearing is, well, pretty average. Now, let's talk about our canine companions. A dog's hearing range is truly remarkable. They can hear frequencies from around 67 Hz all the way up to an astonishing 45,000 Hz. Some breeds, particularly those with large erect ears, might even be able to detect sounds up to 60,000 Hz. That means they can hear sounds more than twice as high-pitched as the absolute limit for humans. This is the realm of ultrasonic sound. That so-called silent dog whistle. It's not silent at all. It produces a sound in the 23 to 54 kilohertz range, putting it squarely in your dog's hearing zone, but completely outside of yours. So, what gives dogs this incredible auditory advantage? It all comes down to their evolutionary history and the unique anatomy of their ears. Think about the ancestors of our modern dogs, wild canids like wolves. For them, survival depended on being exceptional hunters and avoiding becoming prey themselves. A keen sense of hearing was absolutely critical. It allowed them to detect the high-pitched squeaks and rustles of small rodents hiding in the undergrowth, their primary food source. At the same time, it helped them listen for the subtle sounds of approaching predators, giving them a vital head start to escape danger. Our domesticated dogs have inherited this incredible auditory toolkit from their wild ancestors. Let's take a closer look inside a dog's ear. The journey of sound starts with the outer ear, or the pinna. This is the part we can see, the floppy or pointy flap. But it's not just for looks. A dog's pinna is a masterpiece of sound-gathering engineering. They have over a dozen muscles controlling their ears, compared to our meager 6. This allows them to independently pivot, tilt, and rotate their ears like sophisticated satellite dishes, pinpointing the exact location of a sound with incredible accuracy. They can move one ear to listen for a squirrel in a tree while the other scans for the mailman. This ability to triangulate sound gives them a huge advantage in locating its source, something we humans struggle with. Once the sound waves are collected by the pinna, they travel down the ear canal, which in dogs is longer and more L-shaped than ours. This shape helps to amplify the sound as it moves towards the middle ear. In the middle ear, we find the eardrum and 3 tiny bones, the malleus, incus, and stapes. When sound waves hit the eardrum, it vibrates. These vibrations are then transferred and amplified by the 3 tiny bones. The basic mechanics here are similar to our own, but the efficiency and sensitivity are dialed up in dogs. The real magic happens in the inner ear, specifically in a spiral-shaped fluid-filled organ called the cochlea. The cochlea is lined with thousands of microscopic hair cells. These are the sensory receptors for hearing. When the vibrations from the middle ear reach the fluid in the cochlea, the fluid moves, causing these tiny hairs to bend. The bending of the hair cells triggers a nerve signal that travels along the auditory nerve to the brain, which then interprets these signals as sound. The key difference lies in the structure and sensitivity of these components. Dogs' eardrums are more sensitive to vibrations, and their cochlea is structured to respond to a wider range of frequencies. The nerve pathways from the ear to the brain are also highly developed, allowing for faster and more detailed processing of auditory information. Essentially, every part of their hearing system is fine-tuned for detecting higher frequencies and more subtle sounds than ours. This incredible hearing ability has profound implications for how dogs experience the world. Think about all the electronic devices in our homes. Televisions, computers, fluorescent lights, and even some smart home devices can emit high-frequency noises that are completely inaudible to us, but may be a constant, annoying buzz for our dogs. This could explain why some dogs seem anxious or agitated in certain rooms or around specific appliances. They might be hearing a high-pitched hum that we are totally oblivious to. It also changes how they perceive their environment outdoors. A quiet park for us might be a symphony of sounds for a dog. They can hear the ultrasonic calls of bats at dusk, the high-pitched chirps of mice in the field, and the subtle rustling of leaves caused by a tiny insect. This rich soundscape provides them with a wealth of information about their surroundings that we are completely missing out on. It's like they're living in a world with an extra layer of sensory detail. This superior hearing is also why certain training methods are so effective. The high-frequency clicker used in positive reinforcement training is easily distinguished by a dog from other background noises, making it a clear and consistent marker for desired behavior. It's a sound that cuts through the clutter. And as we mentioned before, the silent whistle allows for communication over long distances without disturbing people nearby. However, this sensitivity can also be a double-edged sword. Loud noises that are merely startling to us, like fireworks, thunderstorms, or vacuum cleaners, can be overwhelming and terrifying for a dog. To them, the sounds are not only louder, but also filled with high-frequency components that can be physically painful to their sensitive ears. This is why it's so important to be mindful of our pets during loud events and provide them with a safe, quiet space. Their fear isn't an overreaction. It's a genuine response to an intense sensory overload. As dogs age, just like humans, they can experience hearing loss. This is often a gradual process. You might notice they no longer respond to their name being called, or they don't get up to greet you at the door anymore. The hearing loss often starts with the higher frequencies, which means they might stop responding to the squeak of their favorite toy long before they stop hearing your voice. It's important for pet owners to be aware of these changes and adapt how they communicate, perhaps using hand signals or louder, lower-pitched vocal commands. Understanding the differences in hearing between dogs and humans does more than just satisfy our curiosity. It helps us be better companions. It allows us to appreciate their unique behaviors, create a more comfortable environment for them, and communicate more effectively. When your dog is barking at the emptiness of the hallway, take a moment. They're not being silly. They're responding to a world of sound that is intricately woven into their very being, a legacy of their wild past and a testament to the incredible adaptations of the animal kingdom. So, the next time you see your dog's ears perk up, remember, they are tuning into a secret broadcast, a high-frequency world buzzing with information. They are listening to the whispers of rodents, the hum of electronics, and the distant sounds of their world. It's a reminder that our perception of reality is just one version, and our four-legged friends are experiencing a far more sonically complex and vibrant one. By understanding their sensory world, we can deepen our bond and truly appreciate the amazing creatures we share our lives with. Thanks for joining us on this auditory adventure. If you learned something new about your best friend today, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Canine Secrets for more deep dives into the amazing world of animals. See you next time.